Hello and welcome to today's live video. I'm very excited to have you, and wherever you are watching from, kindly tell me where you are watching from. I would like to know where exactly you are watching from, and let's dive into the topic of the day. Now, first of all, the topic I'll be explaining on today's video is simply how you study but can't remember everything in the exam, and I'll be sharing everything that you need to know, what you need to do before the exam, what you need to do while you're writing the exam, and exactly what you need to do in order to remember and plan your study. That is what I'll be explaining to you on today's video. I would like you to state your name and where you are watching from. I would like you to state your name and where you are watching from. And if you are watching this on a replay, I would like you to state your name too and where you are watching from. And I'm excited to have live video. So now the thing is, most students find it difficult. Most students study hard, but they fail their exam simply because they fail to use certain study technique. And this study technique are the things that are actually serving as an obstacle for them, that don't actually make them remember what they study. And on today's video, I'll be diving into everything that you need to know. And also this presentation, I'll be unpacking everything that you need to know and the proving system that I actually use that actually made me study while I was in school. And that is all I'm going to be explaining to you on today's video. Now, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'd like to introduce myself. I am Abayomi, and I studied economics and education while I was in university. And while I was in university, I had several issues as a student while studying, and there are mistakes that I made along the way. And right now, I picked up those mistakes, and I decided on certain mistakes that I made, and I was able to correct them because while I was making those mistakes, I failed several exams. I made so many mistakes, but then I was able to research and I was able to package every knowledge that I've gained throughout my research, and I'm showing you that right now on today's video. And I'm showing you that right now on today's video, and I want you to follow me as I go on with this live video. So there was a point in time in my university where I was actually preparing for a particular exam, and there was a point in time I was preparing for a particular exam and I forgot everything that I was studying for that exam. I was not remembering most of the things that I studied. And at that point in time, I thought that I've studied, I went for all night classes, I did everything I could, but then I could not remember most of the things I studied. And that was when I discovered that I was not actually using the right study technique. And the fact that I didn't use the right study technique, I didn't sleep, I didn't study the right way, and because of that, when I went to the exam the following day, I forgot almost every single thing. And after some time, I was able to research, I was able to package my knowledge, and I was able to apply those knowledge that I got to be able to actually remember most of the things that I studied. And also, since when I applied those things, I stopped forgetting everything that I studied. I stopped forgetting everything that I studied, and I was able to study the right way. So that is that. So like I said, anywhere you are watching from, I would like to know where you are watching from, and I would like to just state your name and where you are watching from. And if you are watching this on a replay also, I would like to know where you are watching from also. So now, why do people forget in exams? Why do people forget in exams? The first reason why people forget in exam is that they study passively. That is, they read without recalling what they study. And passive studying consists of highlighting, rereading your notes over and over again. The urge of trying to learn a particular thing, you tend to recall the information over and over again, and without thinking, without actually putting some things into consideration. And that is why most students forget what they study. Now, another thing that makes most students forget is that they don't study early, and because of this, they were not able to space their learning over time for that information to be solidified in their brain. And that's why most students, so if you are forgetting during your exam, it's because you study passively. You do not use spaced repetition, that is studying over a period of time. And also you cram instead of long-term learning. When your exam is in few days time, you decide to pack everything that you studied for a long time in one night. That is the major reason why most students forget what they study. And in fact, poor exam day record tactics actually makes most students forget what they study. When your exam is in few days, you do not revise the right way, and because of this, you forget almost everything you study, and you think that you studied, but then you didn't actually study the right way. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you everything that you need to know in order to study the right way and put you on the right track in this video. So now, another thing. Now, before, there are science behind studying. That is, there are scientific proofs that actually talks about how students actually forget what they study and the reason behind why you forget what you study. Now, the first thing is the forgetting curve. That is, memory fades fast without review. That is, if you do not review what you study on a daily basis, there are tendencies that you forget. Everybody, human being, has a tendency to forget. You have the tendency to forget anything you study, but the act of reviewing and revisiting what you study makes anything you study stick at a positive time. So if you do not interrupt the forgetting process every single time, there are tendencies that you definitely forget most everything you study. So another thing is that the brain needs to recall to strengthen the information. That is, if you don't recall what you study over and over again without holding the book or without having access to the book, then there are tendencies that you forget because you could not test yourself. And the fact that the constant process of you recalling the information makes the information stick more, and it makes the synaptic connections get solidified in your brain. And another thing that I want to point out is that a lot of students face stress while they are studying at any point in time because of the pressure of exam pressure and everything. They pass through a lot of stress, and because of this, they could not actually remember what they study. So I will advise you and I will implore you that anytime you are trying to study, stress can actually block your memory retrieval during exam. So try as much as possible to sleep well, eat well, and try to sleep few days before your exam, because that is the only way you can actually get ready to go for the exam and you'll be able to remember anything you study. That is that about that. And before I go into the solutions that you need in order for you to remember what you study for any exam, I would like to introduce my new ebook is coming up, and I would like you to pre-order right now by clicking the link in the description. The ebook is about how to study once and remember forever. And in that ebook, I've packaged everything that I've learned right from when I was in university till now, and all the proven techniques that I've actually applied. I've packaged them inside that ebook, and you should kindly pre-order the ebook right now by clicking the link in the description. When you pre-order the ebook, these are the things that you get. It's a 50-page guide packaged with scientific-based technique. And in that ebook, you definitely learn how your brain stores information, both in both in neuroscience and cognitive science standpoint. So what is in the ebook is basically the step-by-step application on how you can apply several study techniques, that is active recall, spaced repetition, and mind mapping. And aside from the information that is in the ebook, when you pre-order right now, you will get a free study template, a few study plan templates from me, and also you will be exposed to the few first pages of the ebook and a one-on-one coaching session with me. So if you pre-order now and get with just only $3, that is 5,000 naira, you'll be able to have all those bonuses when you pre-order right now before the end date, that's before the release date. The release date is of September. So before the release date, if you can pre-order right now, you get all the benefits that I'll be giving you, which is the free study plan, a one-on-one coaching session with me, and also I will expose you to a few pages in the ebook. So kindly click the link in the description right now to pre-order. So now, how exactly can you actually remember more in exams? The first thing that you need to do is to switch from reading to active recall. That is the constant way of you reading the information. If you keep rereading the information due to the fact that you think that the more repetition you have with the information, the more you'll be able to remember, it's a lie. The only way you can remember is to actively recall, that is, recall the information from your brain without having access to the book. And also, aside from that, also try as much as possible to review in spaced interval. That is, the first day, the third day, and the second and the seventh day. When you read something now, try to read something else the following day, and the third day, recall what you read in the first day. The sixth day, recall what you read in the second day, and the seventh day, recall what you read in the sixth day. If you do it like that, you'll be able to sustain the information in your brain, and you will not forget what you study if you do it like that. Then another thing that I actually used while I was in school that actually made me remember most of the things I study is I teach what I learned to others. When I learn something in the first instance, I try as much as possible. I have it in mind that I want to teach someone, so I try as much as possible to be able to make sure that I understand what I'm teaching, and so that I'll be able to break it down for the person that I want to explain to when I'm explaining. So try as much as possible to teach what you learn to someone. The fact that you are teaching someone, it makes the information stay in your brain. It's a form of testing, and also you'll be able to simplify the knowledge in such a way that the person will understand. The act of you doing that solidifies the information in your brain, and it will help you remember when the exam is fast approaching. So also practice under timed exam-like condition. That is, before you go for your exam, have your past questions, and it's more like a simulation, exam simulation. So when you have your past question and you set a particular time for that past question, for example, the exam you want to write is about 2 hours. You pick a past question, you set that exact 2 hours for that exam, and you do it at that point in time. So the more you do it, the more you get acquainted to the exam situation, and the more you'll be able to remember most of the things you study in the exam. That is all about that. So like I said earlier, get your copy now. I'm reviewing a new ebook, like I've explained earlier. Get your copy now on the Study Once I Remember, the new ebook, and it is priced at 5,000 naira. And when you order the book right now, you have access to a free study plan. You have access to the first few pages of the ebook, and also you have access to the one-on-one coaching session with me if you pre-order before the release date, which is 15th of September. So if you pre-order right now, you'll be able to have access to everything that. So you can click the link in the description to get access to everything. So if you are watching right now, I want you to know where you are watching from, and I want you to start posting your questions on how. I want to start posting any question you have concerning studying or reading or anything. I would like to know what you have. I would like to know the questions that you have for me. So That's that. So if you're anywhere you're watching from, I would like to know where you're watching from. And if you're just joining on the replay, I'd like to know where you're watching from. And post your questions right now before I leave the live video. So you can drop your questions, and that is all about that. So if you got so much value, if you've been joining from the beginning of this live video, you can kindly drop a comment to me with your name and where you're watching from. So I'll be waiting for the questions as you go on. And one of the things another thing that I notice that most students do before any exam is that they don't sleep before the exam. I could remember a point in time when I was in school, then I didn't sleep before the following exam because I thought that, oh, if I could read everything I could read, I'll be able to remember the following day. But then I kept reading for overnight. I didn't sleep. And because of that, when I get to the exam, I went blank. And I know most of you, this must have happened to you one way or the other. And this must have happened to you one way or the other. And next time, try as much as possible to sleep before your exam, because it helps the information stay and solidified in your brain. These are the things that I've packaged inside this new ebook that I'm trying to these are the things that I've packaged inside this new ebook, and you can have access to it right now, pre-order right now before the 15th of September, and you get everything that I have to offer in that ebook. So if you got so much value from this video so far, kindly like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Kindly subscribe to the channel. So thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. And if you are interested, kindly pre-order the book right now by clicking the link in the description. You have access to a one-on-one coaching session with me. You have access to everything that I have to offer. So you see the link right there. So thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.